We can use NotebookLM to assist us in accomplishing any goal. And we can interact with the AI in plain language, and we can ask for plans for a specific period of time or a specific manner. And by using daily check-ins, we can get the AI to evaluate our progress. And we will discuss the setup process in this video. Now, to start the process, there are some things that you are going to need. You're going to need the vision, or what you need or want to accomplish. You'll be setting your goal and or goals in order to accomplish the vision. You need to know what you have in order to accomplish the vision. And so you will do some kind of asset declaration, not a formal asset declaration, but what do you have that you can use in order to accomplish the vision, to accomplish your goals. You need to know what your constraints are. And so you will need to make some kind of declaration about the number of constraints that you have in order to accomplish the goal. You then need to have a guide that you trust. So in this case, in order to accomplish your goal, you may be following a methodology. You want to make sure that you can get that methodology into PDF format so that you can upload it to NotebookLM. If you have a goal setting or goal achieving philosophy that you are following, you want to make sure that you can upload it also in PDF format into NotebookLM. You can get your authoritative source put into PDF format by using any of the affordable book scanning services that are available. If you go to your favorite search engine and you type in book scanning service, you will be able to find services that start at about 10 cents per page. If you know you're going to be going through this process a number of times, you can go to a site like Amazon and you can pick a well-known book scanner used by solopreneurs. Is the CZUR. You don't have to pay a premium price. You can typically get the cheapest one to accomplish your purposes. We will start the process by creating a new notebook. When we create the new notebook, we're going to upload our documents. We're going to upload all 4 of our starting assets. So we have our documents. We're going to upload our authoritative source. While our source is rendering, we're going to go ahead and rename our notebook. We're now going to go and get some help from Gemini so that we can program the notebook. We will come into Gemini. We will then attach our notebook that we just created. So we're going to attach the notebook. We're then going to click Add. We're then going to ask Gemini to assist us by writing the instructions for us to use to program the notebook. Now, in some cases, Gemini does not always understand what that means to use configure notebook. It's a good idea for you to screenshot your notebook in the configure notebook area. And so that is what we will do. We will click on configure chat, and we will then screenshot this area so that Gemini will know what it is that we are talking about. We will screenshot this area. We will close it. We will also screenshot the customize area, and we will then screenshot this also. We're going to attach our screenshots. Now, before we configure the notebook, there is one more document that we're going to need to have inside of our notebook. So we're going to create a document called Daily Check-in and Updated Progress. We're going to upload that to the notebook, and we're going to do so before we configure the notebook. And so we will add the new document to our notebook. That means we now have 5 total assets inside of our NotebookLM notebook. What we need to do now is we need to configure the notebook. And so we have a prompt here. Now you can alter this prompt however you want to accomplish your specific goal, or you need to adapt it to something that you're doing other than starting a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is just an example of a vision you can accomplish by setting specific goals. We want to tell Gemini as much as we can about how we're going to be operating the notebook. Now, the notebook is going to operate by us providing one daily update so that we can assess our progress and use the tools in NotebookLM to give us an assessment and to help us where we may be deficient. Now, if your plan includes an authoritative source and you have not engaged with that source, you do want to make that part of your plan, and we are including that in this plan, that indeed we need to ingest our authoritative source even while we are looking to accomplish our goal. So we're going to copy this entire prompt. We're going to reattach the NotebookLM notebook. We see our 5th source now. We will attach the notebook. We'll now paste in our prompt. We're now going to make sure that we're using the highest prompt that we possibly can. So we have our welcome note prompt. We're going to copy it. We're going to head to NotebookLM. We're going to customize. We're going to turn on the custom summary. We're going to paste in the prompt. We're then going to click done. You're going to see that your appearance is now changed. And again, you're going to be the only person using this specific document. However, this is a good refresher every time you come to the notebook as to what the notebook is about. We're going to copy the second prompt from Gemini and we're going to place it inside of NotebookLM. So we will go to the configuration area. We're going to type in custom. We're then going to paste in our prompt. We're going to set the response length as longer. So our notebook is now configured. We're now going to set up a NotebookLM prompt, and the prompt is going to say something to this effect. And you're going to alter this prompt for your specific goal, as well as how you want to accomplish your own vision. What we're doing is we're stating that we need to, along with work inside of a plan, we need to understand the authoritative source. That may be something that you may have already done. You may already understand your source and you don't really need to ingest it. You just need to apply it. But you'll want to make sure that you state that when you first prompt NotebookLM and once you have all of your starting documents uploaded. We're going to go to NotebookLM, and with all of our assets already selected, we're going to paste in our prompt. We're then going to click enter. We're going to allow NotebookLM to generate a plan. So NotebookLM has done two things. It's given us a master plan. It's also given us a study plan. So what we're going to do here is we're going to save this to a note. We're going to save this to the studio. And that plan is now over inside of our studio. We're now going to take that plan. We're going to go to the ellipsis. We're then going to convert that to a source. So we now have our master plan. We now have our asset declarations. And we can update our progress on a daily basis here inside of this Google Doc. So we can use our studio assets to our benefit. We can go to any of the audio overviews. For example, we can go to the brief and we can ask a plain language question. At this point, if we've set up our goal setter correctly, we should be able to ask plain language questions. And that's what we're going to do here in the brief. We're just going to ask what we should do today if possible, and then what we should plan to do tomorrow based on all of the elements that are here. We can then generate an audio brief. We can also use the slide deck, for example. If you are a visual learner or you're a process learner, you can use the slide deck and you can ask a plain language question. These assets are taking into account your constraints, the assets you have, as well as the plan, as well as the guide. So we're now going to generate a slide deck that we're hoping that will give us a plan for the next week. So we will go to the infographic and we will ask in plain language, what should our first month look like in terms of activity? We can ask a question, again in plain language, and use the studio tools here in NotebookLM in order to do it. In terms of our study plan, NotebookLM has already given us an opportunity to create our own study guide, to create a podcast, to create a quiz, flashcards, and a mind map. Now, we're not going to do that here in this specific video. However, you would use the studio assets in the way set out by NotebookLM. And if you had questions, for example, we might take this element, and we might go back and we might iterate with NotebookLM to find out exactly how we would initiate this study guide. And again, we don't want to guess about anything. We want to make sure that we understand exactly what the AI is telling us that we ought to do. And so you can get specific advice about what is meant from NotebookLM in order to assist you in accomplishing your goal. Now, in this case, the vision is to start a YouTube channel. We've got a specific plan. However, in the study guide, we needed to go back and clarify exactly what the AI meant when it made a statement. We queried the AI about what the first month should look like. We asked the AI to put that into an infographic. And so the AI attempted to do that. And so if you are a process learner, you can benefit by asking the AI to put something into visual format so that you'll understand conceptually what it is that you are going to be trying to do. We now have our audio brief.
This is the brief on your 90-day YouTube leadership launch strategy. So today, August 17th, is literally day one of your zero-budget, 5-hour-a-week plan to turn your PhD into a $10,000 a month AI community using real data-driven frameworks from Daryl Eves's book, The YouTube Formula. First, we need to set your finish line today. You're going to write down that specific goal of building a $10,000 a month business by December 2026. and then have your Gemini AI generate a tailored report on YouTube's deep learning machine.
So as you can see, the AI will give us some advice on what it is that we need to do one day at a time. Now, this is all based on the information we uploaded as well as the master plan that we set. And so you can use the studio assets in ways that will help you to understand what your plan is, either for a specific day or a specific period of time for a specific week. You don't have to follow the methodology in terms of using the studio assets. What is important is that you follow the structure of uploading your authoritative sources as well as using Google Docs to give yourself an opportunity to update your progress. And finally, what you'll need to make sure that you do is whenever you update your document, as you can see here, we just made an edit to the document. You will need to go to that document, and what you're going to see here is that there is a link here that says click to sync with Google Drive. So NotebookLM does recognize that a change was made to the document. We then need to click sync with Google Drive, and then the new element inside of NotebookLM will update the document. You will see that here in the wording here in this area. Okay, so thanks, and I will see you in another video.